Hey YouTube, this is my Hero Kid deck. Just a quick deck idea I was been thinking of. Finally finished it. It's actually pretty good. It's not near as competitive as most of the decks out there. It's just mainly for a fun deck, just to have an extra deck to play around with. It's very fun. It does win sometimes. Not all the time, but it does win. It's very fun. If you want, most of these cards are common. I recommend testing it out if you have the time or the cards laying around. So here's the deck. Obviously, you're gonna run Junk Warrior because almost a lot of cards are level 2. I'll get to why in a minute. But my friend made this for me. It's really awesome. I don't know if I can focus or not, but that's Junk Warrior Synchro. But he made it the trap card Kid Guard and placed it on my Junk Warrior, which is pretty awesome. The deck runs 3 Hero Kid, of course. The worst thing you can do in this deck is draw into multiples of these. You want these in your deck. You don't want them in your hand. But you run 3 Hero Kid. If you don't know what Hero Kid does, when it is special summoned by any means, summon as many more as possible from your deck. Level 2 Earth, so he can be summoned with Giant Rat. It's just shenanigans like that. Here's level 2s of the deck. 3 Hero Kid, 2 Doppel Warrior, because you do Synchro a good bit in this deck. 1 Morphing Jar, because you get dead hands a lot. 1 Grand Mole, and my favorite card in a tech choice, 1 Millennium Shield. Yes, Millennium Shield. This card is pro. The reason why is because I literally stalled for 10 turns with this card till my opponent top decked the Dark Hole. So yeah. 2 Giant Rats. The reason you can run Millennium Shield, because it's 1500 less attack. It has 0 attack, but it does have 3000 defense. Not even Red Juggernaut Train can get over it. 3 Junk Synchron, because you're running so many level 2s. 2 Debris Dragon, because Debris can get back Hero Kid and sink into Iron Chain if you want to. So 1 Stratos, 1 Ocean, 1 Ice Edge, 1 Plasma, because you summon Hero Kids and you summon tokens a lot, so Plasma's good. 2 Diamond Dude, mainly for D-draw, but he can get his effect off once in a while, so. And it also prevents you from drawing into those dead Hero Kids. So 1 Summoner Monk, because some of the spells you run can be dead. And because of Summoner Monk, I run 1 Rose Warrior Revenge, just level 4 tuner. I know it can be bottomless, so why not run Flameville Magician? 1, because I like Rose Warrior, it's a cool looking card. 2, it's a nice beater. And 3, I'm trying to stick with the warrior theme. So 1 Sangan. For spells, we got 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. I will always run 2 of this. I don't know why people aren't. 1 Book of Moon, 2 Pot of Avarice, because you go through your monsters like crazy. The only expensive card in this deck, I was proxying them because I was running them in my Fairy deck, but Fairy deck's getting... Well, people don't want to play it, let's put it that way, because they think it's too cheap. So 2 Pot of Duality. You can replace these with whatever you want. Honestly, when I wasn't running these, I was replacing them with more E-Heroes. I was running 2 Neos Aliases, because you need E-Heroes for this deck, so... or you could run Upstarts, but I wouldn't recommend it, because you can't OTK in this deck. But... just Pot of Duality is Pot of Duality. You can replace it with whatever you want to replace it with. Oh, that's what I was replacing with. I had Hand Destructions. Hand Destructions is very good in this deck. Like I said, you get very dead hands. So 1 D-draw, because you're running 3 targets. And I know that's kind of small, but you'd be surprised how many times I get that combo off to draw 2. 1 Allure, because you run a lot of darks. 1 Rhoda, because most of your deck's Warrior. 1 Foolish, because you send Doppel and stuff to grave. 1 Scapegoat, traps, very limited traps, just 2 Kid Guard. Kid Guard is pretty pro. If they're going for game, it's not going to happen. Tribute 1 Hero Kid on the field. Negate their attack and add an elemental hero from your deck to your hand. Here's the thing. Hero Kid does not need to be face up. So, you can just set one, and set this, and end. So, because it just says Tribute 1 Hero Kid, so I like the wording on that. 2 Reinforced Truth. This is where another part of the combo to get Hero Kids out. Reinforced Truth effect is special summon 1 level 2 or lower warrior monster from your deck, but you cannot conduct your battle phase this turn, so therefore activate it during the end phase or when your opponent MSTs or something. And you gotta run Mirror Force. I would be running Solemn, but this deck is already a 43 card deck. You'd probably be like, what? But it works. So, and again, it's just a fun deck. Synchros, obviously, I'm gonna be running 3 of these. 3 Junk Warrior, 1 Junk Berserker, and 2 Iron Chains. I don't feel like pulling out the rest of them. But that's your main synchros, along with Stardust, right? Bionic, it's just staples. So, that's the main synchros you gotta run, though, in this deck. Junk Berserker is pro, Junk Warrior, and Iron Chain. That's the deck. Tell me y'all think of my innovative idea. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and if you haven't already checked out my fairy deck profile, please do. Tell me y'all think.